A man does not chase every woman. He doesn't stay up late at night thinking about everyone he meets. But if you understand one thing, just one thing, you'll have his attention not for a moment, not for a season, but for life. See, looks might catch his eye, but they will never keep his heart. Beauty gets old, trends fade, and appearances can change. What keeps a man chasing you is the value you place on yourself. It's the confidence you carry when you walk into a room, knowing you are the prize, not because of how you look, but because of the life you bring, the standards you set, and the peace you protect. Self-worth is not just an idea or a concept you tell yourself when you're trying to feel better. It is the foundation of how you live, how you carry yourself, and how the world responds to you. When you know your worth, you no longer beg for attention or validation. Because you understand that respect comes naturally to those who respect themselves first. The truth is, people treat you according to the standards you set, not the ones you hope for. If you constantly compromise your value, if you accept less than you deserve, you silently tell others it's okay to give you the bare minimum. But when you truly embrace your worth, you set a clear message: I am valuable, I deserve respect, and I will not tolerate anything less. That energy is powerful, and it demands attention in every room you step into. Respect isn't something you can force or chase. It is something you attract. Think of it like this. When you walk with confidence, when you set boundaries, when you refuse to settle for crumbs, people notice. They may not always say it, but they feel it. It's in your posture, your decisions, your words, and even in your silence. Respect flows toward those who don't need approval to feel complete. Self-worth tells the world you are whole already, and anyone who comes into your life must add, not subtract. Many people lose respect not because they lack qualities, but because they do not stand firm in their value. If you allow someone to mistreat you once and you excuse it, they learn they can do it again. But if you stand tall, if you draw a line and make it clear that your dignity is non-negotiable, that is when respect deepens. Self-worth is like armor. It protects you from the erosion of your identity. It ensures you never shrink yourself to fit into someone else's expectations. And when people see that you honor yourself, they are compelled to honor you too. Living with self-worth doesn't mean arrogance or pride. It means quiet strength. It means knowing you don't need to prove your value through constant effort, appearance, or approval. The person who respects themselves carries an inner peace that cannot be shaken by opinions or temporary rejection. That kind of security is magnetic. Others may not always understand it, but they will feel it and they will respect it, even if they don't admit it out loud. Respect is not demanded by shouting or by force. It is earned by consistency. If you say you deserve better but keep returning to less, people stop believing you. But when you stand firm in your standards, whether in relationships, friendships, or work, people quickly realize that your worth is not negotiable. Over time, they treat you the way you have trained them to. And that training begins with how you treat yourself. Do you honor your own time? Do you keep your promises to yourself? Do you speak to yourself with kindness? The respect you want from others must first be modeled in your own life. When you cultivate self-worth, you stop chasing love, approval, or attention, and you start attracting it. People are drawn to those who know who they are and refuse to apologize for it. You may lose some connections, but the ones who remain will value you more. They will understand that you are not to be taken lightly because your life reflects the truth that respect starts within. In the end, self-worth is not just about how you feel about yourself. It is about the way the world learns to feel about you. It is the root of lasting respect, and once you carry it deeply, no one can take it away from you. Beauty is often the first thing that catches attention, but it is never the thing that holds it forever. Looks may turn heads, but confidence keeps hearts. Time teaches us that physical appearance changes. Wrinkles appear, bodies shift, styles go out of trend, but confidence has no expiration date. It is the inner power that makes someone unforgettable, even when the outside fades. Confidence is the glow that doesn't dim with age, the strength that makes others feel your presence before you even say a word. Unlike beauty, which can be fleeting, confidence has the power to grow stronger with every life experience, making it a quality that truly outlasts everything superficial. Confidence creates an energy that beauty alone cannot. When a person is confident, they walk into a room with assurance, not arrogance, but with the kind of calm certainty that says, I know who I am, and I'm not afraid to be it. That kind of presence is magnetic. People are drawn to it because confidence makes others feel safe, inspired, and uplifted. You may admire someone for how they look, but you respect and remember them for how they carry themselves. Confidence communicates a deeper truth. It says you don't rely on external approval to define your value, and that is powerful. The mistake many people make is investing all their energy into maintaining beauty while neglecting to build confidence. Beauty may capture attention for a season, but when the surface fades, what is left? If you rely only on appearance, you may find respect and admiration slipping away with time. But confidence doesn't diminish, it expands. It comes from building your character, pursuing your passions, setting your standards, and embracing who you are without apology. Those qualities never grow old. In fact, they only become more refined and admirable as life teaches you wisdom. Confidence outlasts beauty because it comes from within, not from the mirror. A mirror can only show you the surface, but confidence reflects your spirit, your courage, and your strength. Even in moments when you don't feel your best, confidence can carry you through. People might not remember exactly what you wore or how perfect your features looked, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And confidence makes people feel something: admiration, respect, and inspiration. Beauty can entertain the eye, but confidence touches the soul. Confidence also empowers you to handle rejection, failure, and criticism in ways beauty never can. A person who relies solely on their looks may crumble when those looks no longer provide the validation they once did. But a confident person understands that their worth is not tied to temporary applause. They keep moving forward, not shaken by opinions, because they know their value doesn't come from the outside world. That resilience is what makes confidence timeless. It gives you the ability to rebuild, to rise, and to continue shining no matter the circumstances. The truth is, confidence has a ripple effect. When you embrace it, others feel encouraged to embrace theirs. It makes you attractive in a way that is not just physical, but emotional and spiritual. Confidence shows that you know what you bring to the table, and you're not afraid to sit alone if necessary. That kind of assurance makes others chase you, respect you, and admire you long after beauty alone would have faded. In the end, beauty may bring someone to you, but confidence is what makes them stay. Looks may change with age, but confidence matures into something even more powerful. It becomes dignity, presence, and influence. And that is why confidence will always outlast beauty. It doesn't just shine on the outside. It lives on the inside. And once you have it, it cannot be taken away. There is a powerful difference between choosing someone and needing someone. Need comes from a place of lack, desperation, or incompleteness. It says, I cannot be whole without you. Choice, on the other hand, comes from strength. It says, I am already whole, but I see value in walking this journey with you. That difference changes everything about the way relationships are built and sustained. When you need someone, you put pressure on them to fill your emptiness, to be responsible for your happiness, and to carry the weight of your insecurities. But when you choose someone, you allow love, respect, and connection to grow freely without being rooted in fear or dependency. Needing a person often creates imbalance. You may tolerate behavior that hurts you, ignore red flags, or lower your standards just to keep them near. because you are afraid of being alone. But this kind of attachment rarely creates lasting respect or love. In fact, neediness often pushes people away. It suffocates, it clings, and it demands constant reassurance. Choice, however, is liberating. When you choose someone, it is not because you cannot live without them, but because your life is richer, brighter, and more meaningful with them in it. That foundation makes the relationship healthier, stronger, and more enduring. Choice empowers you to set boundaries. You are not afraid to walk away from what does not serve your worth because you are not held hostage by need. You don't stay because you have to. You stay because you want to. That creates a powerful dynamic. It tells the other person, I don't depend on you for my happiness, but I welcome you into it. That energy creates attraction instead of desperation. It inspires respect instead of pity. It builds a relationship based on mutual desire, not fear of loss. When love comes from choice, it carries freedom. Both people know they are there because they want to be, not because they feel trapped or obligated. That freedom fuels appreciation. Think about it. If someone knows you don't need them but still want them, they understand their place in your life is earned, not given out of necessity. That realization makes them value you more deeply because it's not a relationship of survival. It's a relationship of abundance. Need says, I'll take anything as long as you don't leave. Choice says, I'll only accept what aligns with my worth because I have the strength to stand alone if I must. That kind of strength is what makes people chase you for life. When you live with that mindset, you don't beg for attention. You don't settle for crumbs, and you don't compromise your dignity for temporary comfort. Instead, you invite relationships that add joy, peace, and growth to what you already have. This truth doesn't just apply to love. It applies to every area of life. In friendships, in work, in opportunities, the same principle holds. You are powerful when you make decisions from choice, not from need. When you operate from need, you are willing to compromise your values, accept mistreatment, or sacrifice your vision just to keep something in your life. But when you operate from choice, you step into every situation with confidence. You know you can stand alone, so everything you accept is out of genuine desire, not desperation. In the end, choosing instead of needing shifts the entire dynamic of your life. It makes you magnetic because people sense you are strong enough to walk away, yet generous enough to stay if it feels right. That balance is rare and it inspires deep respect. You don't chain people to you. You give them the freedom to stay, and that is what makes them want to. Love, born out of choice, is love that lasts because it is not rooted in fear. It is rooted in power, dignity, and truth. And when you live that way, you will never beg to be loved. You will always be chosen. Boundaries are not walls meant to keep people out. They are guidelines that teach others how to treat you. They are the invisible lines that define what is acceptable and what is not in your life. Without boundaries, you leave yourself open to disrespect, mistreatment, and disappointment. But when you set and honor clear boundaries, you communicate your worth without needing to say a word. Boundaries build value because they show that you know yourself, you respect yourself, and you will not compromise your dignity for temporary acceptance. Many people hesitate to set boundaries out of fear of losing relationships, fear of being called difficult, or fear of being misunderstood. But the truth is, the absence of boundaries doesn't protect you, it weakens you. When you let people cross lines repeatedly without consequence, you teach them that your feelings and needs do not matter. Over time, this erodes not only your self-respect, but also the respect others have for you. Boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about controlling yourself, deciding what you will and will not allow in your space. That act alone increases your value in the eyes of those around you. Boundaries are powerful because they filter out what doesn't serve your growth. They prevent you from pouring into people who only take from investing in relationships that drain you, and from saying yes when your spirit is begging you to say no. Each time you set a boundary, you are affirming to yourself, my time, my peace, and my energy matter. That affirmation is what builds value, because people who value themselves naturally demand respect. When you respect yourself, others have no choice but to step up or step away. Think about it. A person who has no boundaries may gain temporary approval, but they often lose long-term respect. People admire strength, even if they don't always like it. When you say no, when you walk away from situations that don't honor your worth, when you refuse to settle for less than you deserve, you may upset some people, but you also teach them that you cannot be taken lightly. Boundaries show that you are not desperate for connection, and that makes your presence more valuable. The truth is, scarcity increases worth. And when you protect yourself with boundaries, you ensure that your energy, your love, and your time are not endlessly available to those who do not appreciate them. Boundaries also create healthier relationships. When people know where you stand, they know how to approach you. Boundaries eliminate confusion and set the foundation for mutual respect. In love, they prevent toxic cycles. In friendships, they protect loyalty. In work, they establish professionalism. Boundaries are not a sign of selfishness. They are a sign of maturity. They are proof that you are capable of protecting your own well-being while still showing kindness and care to others. The beauty of boundaries is that they attract the right people while repelling the wrong ones. Those who are meant to stay in your life will respect your limits, even if it challenges them. Those who walk away were never meant to be there in the first place. Either way, your value rises because you no longer compromise your peace for company. By protecting yourself, you invite relationships that are built on respect, trust, and authenticity. In the end, boundaries are an act of self-love. They are not about keeping others out, but about keeping yourself intact. They remind you and everyone around you that your worth is non-negotiable. And when you live with that kind of clarity, your value shines through in every decision you make. People may resist your boundaries at first, but in time, they will respect them. And in turn, they will respect you. That is how boundaries build value. And that is why those who honor them live fuller, stronger, and more respected lives. Peace is one of the most underrated treasures in life. Many people chase excitement, chaos, and constant entertainment, mistaking it for fulfillment, but over time they realize that nothing compares to the calm of a peaceful heart and a peaceful environment. Drama may capture attention in the short term, but it eventually drains energy, destroys trust, and leaves people feeling empty. Peace, on the other hand, nurtures growth, strengthens relationships, and creates stability. Choosing peace over drama is not a sign of weakness. It is one of the greatest signs of wisdom and strength. Drama thrives on insecurity and confusion. It feeds on gossip, arguments, jealousy, and unnecessary conflict. It creates noise that distracts you from your purpose and steals your time. Many people get trapped in drama because they feel it makes life more interesting. But the truth is, drama only makes life heavier. Peace, however, brings clarity. When you choose peace, you can think clearly, make better decisions, and create an environment where love and respect can thrive. Peace does not mean the absence of challenges. It means the presence of balance even in the midst of them. People often confuse peace with boredom, but they are not the same. Peace is not about silence or inactivity. It is about stability, trust, and harmony. In relationships, peace looks like respect, communication, and understanding. It is the comfort of knowing that someone has your back without constant suspicion or conflict. Drama, by contrast, is unpredictable and unstable. It may feel thrilling for a while, but it always leads to exhaustion. Peace gives you space to grow, while drama keeps you stuck in cycles of negativity. Choosing peace also shows self-respect. When you refuse to entertain unnecessary arguments, when you stop responding to gossip, when you walk away from people who thrive on conflict, You are showing that your energy is too valuable to be wasted on nonsense. Drama demands reaction, but peace requires control. It takes strength to stay calm when provoked, to keep your dignity when others try to pull you into chaos. That kind of discipline is what makes people admire and respect you, even if they don't admit it. Peace is attractive because it creates safety. People are naturally drawn to those who bring calm rather than confusion. A person who values peace doesn't need to shout to be heard or fight to be noticed. Their presence itself is enough. They bring comfort wherever they go, and that comfort is rare in a world full of noise. That is why peace has more lasting power than drama. Drama burns fast and fades quickly, but peace sustains relationships and builds legacies. Living in peace does not mean you avoid all conflict. It means you choose your battles wisely. Not every insult needs a response. Not every disagreement deserves an argument. And not every provocation requires your energy. Peace means protecting your space so you can focus on what truly matters: your goals, your growth, your loved ones, and your happiness. By walking away from drama, you are not showing weakness. You are showing wisdom. You are saying, I will not allow chaos to steal my joy. In the long run, peace is what people crave. The person who brings peace will always be valued more than the one who brings drama. Anyone can stir trouble, but it takes maturity and inner strength to create calm. And once you taste real peace, you will never want to go back to chaos. That is why choosing peace over drama is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. It is a choice that protects your energy, elevates your value, and ensures that the relationships and opportunities in your life are built on stability, not confusion. Self-love is the foundation of every healthy relationship and every meaningful pursuit in life. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. If you constantly criticize yourself, neglect your needs, or accept less than you deserve, you silently communicate to the world that it is acceptable to do the same. But when you practice self-love, when you honor your time, care for your body, guard your heart, and nurture your dreams, you send a powerful message: I know my worth and I expect to be treated accordingly. That message becomes the tone by which everyone in your life learns to interact with you. Self-love is not arrogance or selfishness. It is balance. It is the understanding that you cannot pour into others if you are running on empty. Many people believe that sacrificing themselves endlessly is a sign of love, but without self-love, that sacrifice becomes destructive. You cannot build a healthy relationship on neglecting yourself. True love flows from overflow, not from emptiness. When you love yourself enough to set boundaries, to take care of your well-being, and to prioritize your peace, you create the conditions for stronger, more authentic connections with others. The tone of your life is shaped by what you allow and what you refuse to allow. If you love yourself, you refuse to tolerate abuse, disrespect, or manipulation. You walk away from what harms you, even if it hurts in the moment, because you understand that your peace and dignity are worth more than temporary comfort. People may test your limits, but your commitment to self-love reminds them that your worth is non-negotiable. And when they see that you value yourself, they are inspired, sometimes even challenged, to treat you better. Self-love also influences how you show up in the world. It impacts your confidence, your goals, and your ability to take risks. A person who does not love themselves enough will hesitate to chase opportunities, doubting whether they are worthy. But a person who has cultivated self-love knows they deserve success, happiness, and fulfillment. They walk into rooms with quiet confidence, not needing validation, but radiating assurance. That energy draws people in. It opens doors and creates respect. Others can sense when you have done the work to love yourself, and they respond to it. Loving yourself means giving yourself grace. It means forgiving your past mistakes instead of replaying them endlessly. It means celebrating your progress instead of comparing yourself to others. When you show yourself kindness, you break free from cycles of insecurity and self-doubt. And the way you treat yourself in private always spills into your public life. If you speak to yourself with kindness, others will notice the strength in your posture, the optimism in your tone, and the resilience in your spirit. Self-love becomes visible, even if you never talk about it. Without self-love, you risk becoming dependent on others for validation. You may cling to unhealthy relationships, tolerate toxic environments, or silence your own needs just to keep others happy. But when you develop self-love, you understand that solitude is better than disrespect, and waiting is better than settling. That understanding shifts everything. You no longer beg to be chosen. You choose yourself first, and that choice makes you magnetic to the right people and opportunities. At its core, self-love sets the tone because it is the first relationship you ever build and the one that lasts for life. Every other relationship mirrors it. If you treat yourself with care, compassion, and respect, others learn to do the same. If you neglect yourself, others follow that example. That is why self-love is not optional. It is essential. It shapes your identity, your choices, and the way others experience you. And when you embrace it fully, you create a tone of dignity, confidence, and strength that resonates in every part of your life.